Hi there, how are you all doing today? My name is Edgar Miranda, and today I will be sharing with you guys some of the very important points that I found in my intergenerational essay. A lot can be said with the way that someone carries themselves, as it is a byproduct of the many stages in life. As we live and simultaneously age, we develop new skill sets, which furthermore allows individuals to build their character. I interviewed my sister in law, my mom, and my grandma, and I will be analyzing the interviews conducted for this research to test out Erickson's stage theory and see how well it played out to shape character. So, in accordance to Erickson's stage theory, my participants would fall under the subcategories for their age of intimacy versus isolation, gender activity versus stagnation, and ego integrity versus despair. As I interviewed, I was able to figure out that the negative experiences at different ages might have implications for developmental outcomes. Um, which led me to mention that I also noticed a commonality in the responses that the women gave me. The one that they said they weren't happy with their significant other, but continue to be with them because of internalized monogamy, um, which then causes a shift of virtues develop because, as Dr. Hamburg mentions, the lack of resolving a crisis in one stage makes future stages more difficult. So, as I interviewed Dulce Paz, my 23-year-old sister-in-law, she told me how she had to grow up real quick in a steady life that she had, um, making her way in and out of the public school district to accommodate for hectic family distribution. Um, and she she then later finds herself in a relationship. It's one that's very rocky and one that presented itself many red flags. Um, but she continues to be with the man. She was cheated, abused, and humiliated, but continues to be with him. Why? I ask, and why you may ask. Um, it goes back to childhood trauma, where she continues to stay where she is because she has a damaged sense of unity and continuity in life, in accordance to Jonathan and Balin. Um, and so I tell her, um, fixing herself as of now, which is better said than done, right? Will not only allow her to be successful in the sixth stage of Erickson's stage theory, but also in future ones, because as psychologist Matterson says, the sixth stage of intimacy versus isolation may not be resolved in women prior to progress to their next stage of gender activity, which brings me to the point of my mom's story, where she's currently facing that issue that Dulce may be going into. My mom, the age of 46, still finds herself stuck with a man she no longer loves. She went through the same cycle and she so happens to still be with him. So early marriages end up less likely to succeed because some young people, and I quote, some young people marry to find their identity in somebody else. But to really be intimate, you have to already have a firm sense of identity. And this is a YouTube video of Erickson mentioning this. Um, so that is exactly what my mom actually lets me know. And however, for some odd reason, her own personal life is not of great importance to her. She mentions that my sister, Emily, is what she wants to spend her energy on because she, I quote, is too old to dwell on the past. She has accepted where she is in life because she has given up on her egocentrism through marriage and kids. However, she still manages to fall on the gender activity side of the spectrum, and her faith would have to play a major role in this, and most importantly, her children. She is hard working at her job, and she is constantly at home cleaning, cooking, and she volunteers in her church and she goes the extra mile to really live up to her core values. And which this is something um, that makes someone on that side of the spectrum of gender activity. as I quote, they tend to focus more on what they give to others than on what they can get. And this was pulled out from Evaluating Self Concepts and Ego Status in Erickson's last three psychosocial. That was an article. My grandma, who is currently 77, falls under the ego, integrity versus despair stage. And in accordance to her response, she is happy and satisfied in life, which sets her on the integrity side of the spectrum. However, she still continues to work to this day. She's taking care of a 50-year-old son. Um, which makes me question if she still is stuck on that previous stage of generativity versus stagnation because she continues to care and mend for her child despite her age. See, I wouldn't call my grandma wise because she made many unwise choices in her lifetime and she does not acknowledge any of them. However, I will say that I noticed that there was a that commonality that these three women had, and it relates back to a period of time, the age where they were supposed to develop the virtue of love. Um, and I could not help to point it out because not only did I notice it within my family, but also predominantly the Hispanic culture. And it is one that future generations like Dulce could find the loophole of if no action is taken. So the stage theory is not anything that is concrete, and age definitely plays a role as we've heard. However, we should look at the theory as a spectrum, right? Where you can go back and forth from different stages because very much like my my sister-in-law Dulce, she went back, she's still combating issues that she had from childhood trauma. My mom, she's combating issues she had at the age that she was with Dulce. My grandma, she's still on that spectrum of trying to gear more towards values that she should be going through, but she's still stuck being that mom that she has in herself. Um, so yeah, Erickson definitely helped me figure out some of us go through tough times in certain stages, therefore it impacts the way that we may carry ourselves. In specific, I asked my mom why she's not affectionate towards me. I let her know why she wasn't, and she later mentions that she never seen that being an issue. But looking back at it now, it probably was. And she goes back to she never received that. And so it definitely played a role in the way that she is as a person and how she carries herself. Um, so stage theory, Erickson's stage theory definitely helps one acknowledge someone's character because it chronologically, but not really, but kind of lets you know what are the stages that people have gone through and why is it that they may be acting a certain way that they are acting. And so however, based off of my research, we later then learn that some people may go through a tougher period, and so it later then affects them in the future. It comes back and bites you. But other than that, this stage theory for sure helps you understand how certain people in certain age groups will act and their character, and that all goes back to my thesis statement on finding out someone's character, and someone's character is heavily impacted by their age, and that is something that Erickson gives a description on what are someone's priorities in life as of their age range, and which is something that definitely falls true. My participants highlighted much of importance, put more importance towards the issues they cared more about. So when I interviewed Dulce, she talked a lot about her child and her love life. My mom talked about her family and how she wanted to just be there and work towards something to help her daughter later on whenever she's getting ready to go to college, help her pay it forward. And my grandma, she she's very mellow, doesn't know really what to say, but I noticed she doesn't know what to say because she's overcame or surpassed that period of time where she wants to do more things. She's like in that relaxed period where she says she's happy, and it falls true to all my participants falls true to what Erickson says, and that would happen in each stage. And so, but like I said, let's not forget about us being able to go back and forth amongst the spectrum. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my presentation, and I look forward to your guys' feedback. Very much appreciated. Thank you guys, and you have a good one. Bye.